Hey, it is your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We are outside in nature enjoying the beautiful fresh air, the sunlight, and happy Father's Day to all of you fathers, sons, those of you in a relationship with a significant or prominent male figure in your life who has either been a great role model, a great mentor, or, unfortunately, maybe someone who has exhibited covert narcissistic, or psychopathic behaviors. And for some people, this might be a very difficult day to celebrate because they have suffered at the hands of an individual who maybe has not had their best interest in mind, or has not been an individual with the ability to support, nurture, love, guide, and direct them in the way that they need to be, really in the way that a father is supposed to be. And whether they signed up for the job of parenting, of being a father, and having these characteristics, there's no mechanism in place meant to really, qualify people for the position. So I want to go into a little bit more in depth in this video today on Father's Day on the role and presence of a covert narcissist, a psychopath, someone who is maybe a little bit of harsh, and not maybe outwardly harsh, but really through a withdrawal of communication, an inactivity, a lack of desire in really sort of caring for those people on an emotional, spiritual, or even physical basis. And research has shown really that if one is devoid of empathy or surrounding themselves with people who are actively empathetic, meaning they have the ability to acknowledge, feel, and validate your feelings, your needs, your opinions, really, and your strengths, which all encompass also your passion. If you are not surrounded by those people who reinforce it and give it life, that tends to be perceived or absorbed by the person as a criticism, a defense on the system. It becomes criticism, and then furthermore it is absorbed by the person, by the body, as really a fear-based or a stress-based reaction. And then people then begin to live by the hormones of stress, the adrenaline, the cortisol, and this creates a fight or flight system. And if you are surrounded by this chronically, consistently, through either a husband or a significant male figure such as a father, this can become a very degenerative and disempowering situation. And oftentimes this is embodied in people's sort of self-talk or self-care, or really how they live their life at large. And one of the main issues then is that people then become derogatory to ourself. And studies have been done that our feeling of self-esteem is, when we're very young, it tends to become sort of built in. Like, I feel good about myself, my appearance, my my social stratum, and how I relate to others. But really, even as soon as the third grade, if you are not surrounded by people who are supportive, understanding, and listening, and have that sort of empathy, then the feeling of being loved or attractive, even to one's peers or the world at large, begins to diminish. And so you really need to understand, if you are suffering at the hands of a narcissistic, covert narcissistic, narcissistic or psychopathic parent, father, or spouse at this time, you must begin to realize that they have created a fear-based mechanism in your life, which then translates to negative self-assessment, or what we call, low self-esteem, disempowerment, criticism, those sort of things. And you begin to live your life then in doubt, which is, as you can see, that is not a healthy space to live from. So number one, really, in healing, is to understand that you need to be coming from a space of feeling safe and secure. And so safety is very basic to the human condition, but it can be so much as not being surrounded by harsh criticism, yelling, slamming of doors, harsh critical words, or condescending comments, especially, a narcissist and psychopathic people, to disempower you and emotionally manipulate. They will begin to attack at the very things that you love. You might love a stroll in the park. You might love art. You might love peace and quiet, kind of a mindful space. And then this becomes really the subject of attack or criticism. And it's actually the space or energetic vibration which is very vital to your life. And it seems very simplistic, it seems very basic, but these very basic fundamental human needs and conditions and feelings that resonate within the human body are oftentimes deprived or taken away from or not permitted, disallowed in a relationship with a covert narcissist or malignant narcissist, psychopathic sort of individual. Because you're on a hypervigilance, a fear-based, you're running by the feelings of stress, the I'm not good enough, what's wrong with you? I gave you life, I'm going to take it away. That sort of feeling and energy from these people tends to reverberate and kind of be stored in the actual body itself. And so then people become afraid. They live by social anxiety. They feel kind of like always not safe. They then begin to feel, depersonalized. And this is a very degenerative state. So I want you to really, in your path of healing, really learn and identify how this was set up or how it was programmed, how it was instilled in you from that environment. Now it's your responsibility and accountability to give yourself the very basic human need, which is sort of self-compassion, which is number one, the feeling of being safe. And begin to surround yourself with, soft self-talk, soft, sort of feelings and sensations. And even if you're a man and you're used to being, I can take it, I can be tough, realize you need to create this sacred space for you in order to come to the real new foundation of healing. You need to give yourself from the bottom up. I mean, it's like ground zero. You need to realize that you were attacked for just being yourself, and there's nothing wrong with you, but at the hands of a covert narcissist, malignant narcissist, or psychopath, that feeling, that experience is really what is attacked and what is really kind of stolen from you from the get-go. And that it's a mindfulness state, it's a state of being, and it seems so basic, yet it's never really taught in school. It's not taught to you, at the hands of this person or really society at large. And studies have also been discovered that there's a higher incidence and a rise of narcissism now, especially college graduates with the Facebook. They have this heightened sense of self-importance, in that you have to constantly feel like you're better than in order to exist. Eliminate that erroneous message. You don't have to feel better than to exist. The narcissist will tend to program you to feeling that way or constantly being in reaction to them. And realize that the number one goal you need to do is to stop reacting. Stop being in a reactive state to the needs of this person. They might come at you with the belittling, the harshness, the criticism. What is it? You're having, another, you're going to another fair, you're doing another fishing trip, you're trying to practice yoga, you need some peace and quiet, you're not constantly rehabbing the house, whatever your unique situation is, where you're criticized for kind of existing. And that's really part of the problem. It's really very, very basic. And so you need to really come to that level and realize that these are the emotional manipulation tactics which are utilized by a malignant, a narcissist, or on the covert side, you're not reaffirmed, you're not energized, you don't have that, that support, which is is like the self-validation system. Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. And people are not motivated from a sphere space. So it's really erroneous to think that people are most motivated by being afraid. You're not smart enough, you better try harder. It's all this threat. It's rather than how can I support you, what do you need? Those questions are not asked. So in your healing journey, I want you to ask yourself these questions. What, in a very soft tone, what do you need? How can I support you? How can I help you through this? What do you need to really go to the next level? What do you need here to feel whole? What do you need here to get through this work environment? What do you need to follow up on your interests? What things are you interested in, and how can we get there? What mechanisms or what tools can you use now, like the internet, to explore areas of interest that you feel like you're missing in life? What do you feel you're missing, and what can we do to get you there? Are you interested in studying religion or cultures? Are you interested in pottery or jewelry or handiwork around the house? Would you love to learn how to, take apart cabinets or build new cabinets in your home? Even if it takes 3 months, you have a new project that you're following up with and interested in. And that's oftentimes based on feeling safe and having the permission in that safe space to really move forward on it. And so begin to internalize that feeling of safety, security, and oftentimes it means getting into a non-reactive state to that fear-based mechanism which is put in place by a malignant narcissist, a covert narcissist, or a psychopathic individual. It is peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.